To talk about courage, core action value number 4, I am in one of the most frightening places in the world. When you get wheeled into the emergency room of a hospital, when you get brought into the trauma room like I am here, that is a very frightening thing. And chances are you didn't wake up that morning knowing that whatever has brought you to this place was going to happen. And the more you can ahead of time work on building that strength of character, that personal courage, when it does happen, the more likely you're going to respond in a way that does reflect who you want to be when you're being your best self. And I need to emphasize, fear is a reaction. We're all going to experience fear. It's a reaction, a natural hardwired human condition. Courage, on the other hand, is a decision. There is no courage gene. You make a decision to act in the face of fear. And think about this. You talk to anybody who's done something that's very courageous, and you ask them, what were you feeling when you did that courageous act, whatever it was? They're not going to say, oh, I was feeling courage. What they're going to say is, I was scared to death. But I did what I had to do even though I was scared to death. And the cornerstones of courage, as a value, number 1 is confrontation. That simply means you stand up to your fear. You recognize it for what it is. Very often, you know the acronym FEAR, fantasize evidence appearing real. Can also be FEAR, fabulous excuse for avoiding responsibility. Oh, I was too scared. You have to confront it, stand up to it, and do what you have to do. And the second cornerstone is taking that emotional energy of fear, and that's all it is. It's emotional energy. And instead of letting it paralyze you, transform it into the energy that galvanizes you. You know, a great example, test anxiety, something we all experience. If it paralyzes you, your fear is an enemy and you fail the test. On the other hand, if it gets you out of the bar and into the library because you know you're not ready, then fear has become your ally. And one of the things we talk about in this course is how do you make fear work for you? Because a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety can be a good thing if and only if you act on it. And that's the third cornerstone, is action. The late great motivational writer, speaker, Og Mandino said that action transforms the lion of terror into an ant of equanimity. And we've all had that experience, haven't we? We're frightened to pick up the phone, to confront the bully, to do something, and we finally do it, and we say, that wasn't so bad. I could do that. And the fourth cornerstone is connection. There is nothing more frightening than feeling like you are isolated all alone. And the more troubling, the more terrifying your circumstances, the more important it is that you find connection with other people. A lot of my volunteer work is with support groups. People who have cancer, people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol, people who have suffered some sort of a tragic loss. And you know, at the end of a support group meeting, it's just fascinating because they still have cancer. They're still an addict. Whatever they've lost, their loved one, whatever, is not coming back to them, but they have a little more hope, a little more courage, a little more inspiration and determination to move on ahead. And that's the power of connection, feeling like you're part of a bigger web. Today, in today's world, things are changing so fast. It's turbulent. It's uncertain. We need to learn how to live with courage. We need to learn how to make that decision. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. And when it becomes a value, you'll have a much more effective, much more successful life.